Alright people, since I cannot find a real player to save my life in geared PvP, so I can't do my geared showcase for Valenti. Oops, I just don't know why I moved that, my bad. If I show you here, what did I play? I played 19 games of geared PvP and I faced 2 real players. I didn't lose the 2 real players, by the way, I just left it on auto. Yeah, 2 real players in 19 games, so I just sadly had to call off the showcase. But what I do want to talk about is Valenti's gear set. Right now you can see mine has 52.4k CC. I'm actually running her attack defense with the crit resist rolls, a few here. I kept one on the necklace. Normally you should not keep stats that aren't main stats on the left side, because the pieces on the left side do give you double the stats of the pieces on the right side, so you should always have your sub stat rolls on the right side. You can see most of my crit resistance is on this side. Decided to keep these 2 defense rolls just because they're really high, and I don't think you know, it matters too much. But a lot of people, you see them run crit resistance and stuff on their Valenti. I highly recommend against that, just because I feel like it's not worth it getting in that extra crit damage and pierce rate whilst severely tanking your defense and CC. The crit resist gear set really tanks your CC like very badly, and of course you do lose a ton of defense. But you might be thinking, well, you know, if you lose a ton of defense but you gain a ton of crit resistance, isn't that fine? Because then you're never going to get crit. It's like, yeah, you will never get crit, but you're still going to take a lot of damage because you're going to have really low defense. She doesn't have the highest resistance in the world, you know. 42 is decent, it's not the greatest, it's not too bad, it's not like anything lower than 40 and then we're talking like really bad. So technically she does have pretty bad resistance. So the people who give her crit resist, like, their Valentis get slapped around, right? This is why over on JP people are like, oh, Valenti's not that good because she gets destroyed by Lolly Merlin. It's like, well, yeah, because she basically has no defense. Like, she's gonna have really low resistance, so Lolly Merlin isn't gonna take advantage of that with her power strike. But Valenti can't lifesteal, right? 11%, it's not that great. It's actually pretty bad by today's standards. Like, if you do 200k, you're gonna lifesteal like what, 21k, 22k. It's really not that great. So like, Valenti with crit resist gear gets wrecked pretty damn easily, whereas if you at least, you know, just keep her with the defense set. You can see I don't even have crit damage, just keep her with the defense set and slap on some crit resist rolls. I think she'll actually be a lot better. I played 19 games, 2 against real players and the rest against bots. I was very pleased with her damage output. I did not feel like, oh, she's not doing enough damage. I was very pleased with it. And if you're pleased with the damage output of your unit, there's no reason why you should be sacrificing you know, stats just to gain more damage when it's actually pretty what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say diminished returns, because I'm not going to pretend like you don't gain extra damage. You do get a lot, you do get more damage, but it's just like, what's the point if your unit's going to have much less CC, and CC is very important in this game, and they're going to be a lot less tanky. I just don't see the point. It's like, you could run it, but there's really not a point. It's why people don't run triple crit damage on Sariel, because by all means, Sariel, you could give this guy triple crit damage, you really could. Just because he does have higher base crit chance than Valenti. 65%. If you're running him with like Ludo or with Green Gotha in like a, you know, maybe a Diane tank team or something like that, then triple crit damage on Sariel wouldn't be too bad. But no one runs that because it's just overkill. Sure, your AoE, your single target, does a lot more damage, but you just lose so much CC. That's why I've stopped doing like a triple crit stuff. I used to do that in the past, but I just stopped because losing CC is very bad, especially nowadays where, you know, the meta in high tier stuff is all about high CC. You can see 276 is respectable with Demon Hendrickson. If I didn't want to run Demon Hendrickson, if I just wanted more CC, then obviously I just put him Liz, and you know, bam, 280k. That's very good. You'll like, you might play 100 to 200 games of geared PvP at like Champion 1, and if you have 280k CC, you'd probably get out CC'd like twice in 100 games. Maybe even twice is a bit too much. Like maybe once every 200 games you'd get out CC'd, because most people do tend to hover. Even the whales, they do hover between I want to say anywhere between 265, depending on what team they're running, up to like 278. From all the games I've played, That's where I find the sweet spot for CC is. People are generally between that 265 to 278, maybe 280 if they are a little bit bigger whales. And if we're talking about free to plays, they're generally going to be anywhere between, you know, 230 depending on their team, upwards of 265, unless they're a free-to-play that has seriously invested in one team, which, let's be real, most people are going to invest in their Escanor list team, which, by the way, Valenti absolutely destroys. I don't see why you would make her easier to kill in a matchup where she dominates, because the one Escanor has no chance against Valenti. He really doesn't. She can turn off his entire hand. You know, he can't do the bonk doesn't work. The second card does work just because it has no effect, but you know, the main point is that if Escanor can't bonk you, his damage really isn't too great. So you know, that's just my opinion. And regarding the crit resist, I don't really have too much. It's like 17%. She gives it's going to be what, a 9.5% to her crit damage and pierce rate, which, to be fair, is almost negligible, but it's an extra little bit. You think of it as like an extra Gotha stack. That's the way I like to think of it. She starts the turn with an extra Gotha stack while still having you know, still having really good CC. 52.4. Let me show you my Sariel CC, right? Sariel, his gear set isn't like 15% or anything, but it's still pretty good. If we see my Sariel set here, we'll give him the crit damage set because that's what he has. I know that my Valenti has attack defense, but she does have crit resist rolls, whereas Sariel has all defense. You can see it's not the greatest gear set in the world, but it's still really, really good. 15-15 top roll. Look at Sariel CC, 52. And I know, like I said, I know the crit damage set, but it's like, dude, 52 against her 52.4, while she has crit resist rolls, which give her a really, really bad CC. Think of it just like a 5.9 and like a 11.6, because honestly, like I said, crit resist rarely gives it really doesn't give much CC. And of course, the bottom roll 14.3, sorry, 14.1, 14.4, 14.5. So if I maxed out this gear set, she'd go up to 53k. She has insane CC, but people are just sacrificing this for some extra pierce rate and crit damage, which I don't think you should do. That's just my opinion anyway. Everything is just all opinion. The passive is good, but I don't think it's, you know, that good to where you just build the entire thing around it. You lose a lot more defense. You lose more importantly, it's mainly about the CC, if I'm being completely honest, man. You know, you give her that crit resist set and all of a sudden you're tanking 2-3k CC. Especially if you're a maniac, you give her triple crit resistance. Your CC is going to tank anywhere between 5 to 8,000. Because, you know, like I said, crit resist is a sub stat, it's not a main stat, so the CC you get from it is very, very bad. But that's just my opinion. I just wanted to let you guys know, if I was in your position, you're probably a whale if you summoned for Valenti. Let's be real, the ban is garbage. Don't give her attack crit resist. At the very least, give her attack crit damage. You know, I can deal with that. Attack crit damage, sure thing, you can do that. Maybe throw in some crit resist rolls, but please don't give her the crit resist set. It's just not worth it. But yeah, that'll be it, guys. Just wanted to let you know, not worth it. I tested it out, the crit resist set. It's just not too great, man. Honestly, I just not a fan. But hopefully you take my advice on this. If you do have Valenti, don't give her crit resist. I've said this many times, I'll say it one last time. Your CC tanks too much and you lose too much defense for realistically a bit more damage. Definitely not worth it. That'll be it, guys. Hope you enjoyed my short little discussion. Subscribe if you are new. Smash that like button on the video. I'll catch you guys later on.